As we come on the air, Parkland school shooter Nikolas Cruz is sitting in jail. Eventually, he'll be moved to prison where he will spend the rest of his life after a historic decision just before noon today. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Josh Sidorowicz. A jury decided to spare Cruz from the death penalty, instead sentencing him to life in prison. Tonight, that decision is sparking shock and anger from families, survivors, and state leaders. 10 Tampa Bay's Liz Crawford has been covering this trial for months. And Liz, it has been an emotional day.
Well, the parents and loved ones of the 17 people gunned down and killed that day expressed anger and fury. Last year, the shooter pled guilty to murdering these people right here, 14 students and 3 staff members. So this trial was only about his sentence, death row or life in prison. And because the jury, made up of 12 people, could not unanimously vote for the death penalty, it's a life sentence for the Parkland school killer. Thursday morning, the judge read the verdicts.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the aggravating factors are sufficient to warrant a possible death sentence, yes.
But that wasn't enough for the death penalty.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the aggravating factors that were proven beyond a reasonable doubt outweigh the mitigating circumstances. No.
That means at least one of the jurors found the mitigating circumstances to outweigh the aggravating factors.
Pressing the barrel of his weapon to my daughter's chest. That doesn't outweigh that poor little, what's his name, had a tough upbringing.
Nikolas Cruz's lawyer said his birth mother drank heavily and his mental illnesses went untreated.
What do we have the death penalty for? What is the purpose of it? You set a precedent today. You set a precedent for the next mass killing, and nothing happens to you. You'll get life in jail.
How do you say, yes, it's cruel, that it was heinous, that it was planned, and we all agree on that, but oh, he might have had a mental illness or he had trouble growing up. I have a son with special needs. I have a son that checked all of those boxes, or a lot of those boxes, that the shooter did as well. And you know what? My son's not a murderer.
Person after person expressing outrage.
This jury failed our families today.
While the defense team focused on starting the healing process.
Hope that we as a community can respect the verdict that was rendered, respect the process that was had, and understand that those jurors have spoken.
Now, this is a historic verdict. Cruz's massacre is the deadliest mass shooting that has ever gone to trial. The 9 other people in this country who shot and killed at least 17 people died during or immediately after, either by suicide or police. Now, I talked to an attorney today who had this takeaway.
Right now in Florida, what we're seeing is that if you have a lawyer really at all, if you can raise the mitigating factors even a little bit, it is remarkably difficult to secure a unanimous verdict to end the life of another human being.
Now, many are wondering how many jurors voted against the death penalty. How did they come to this conclusion? Our partners, CBS Miami, talked to one of the jurors, and we are working on getting you deliberation details coming up on 10 Tampa Bay at 6.
All right, Liz, thank you. And it's not just families and survivors who we're hearing from this evening. Governor Ron DeSantis said that he is disappointed in this decision.
He says the legal system failed those impacted by the shooting. Listen.
If you have a death penalty at all, that is a case where you're massacring those students with premeditation and utter disregard for basic humanity, that you deserve the death penalty. I just don't think anything else is appropriate except the capital sentence in this case.
And Democratic candidate for governor Charlie Crist released this statement saying, quote, "There are crimes for which the only just penalty is death. The Parkland families and community deserved that degree of justice." Parkland families and survivors will be back in court on November 1st, and they will give their impact statements. That is also when the judge will officially enter that sentence. A lot of families spoke out after today's decision. You can watch and listen to what they had to say right now on our 10 Tampa Bay app.